Welcome to After Dark Stories. Here we tell thrilling stories bound to make you come back for more. We upload new stories daily. Some are complete while others will be uploaded in episodes. But don't worry, all the multi-episode stories have their own playlist just for your convenience. If you like these stories, please give us a like and subscribe, as this will help us create better stories and videos. Now sit back, relax, and let's explore the unknown. Under the Shadow of the Sun. Chapter 1. A Simple Beginning. In the year 1519, in the vibrant heart of Tenochtitlan, Aztlan, 12-year-old Citlali woke to the warm rays of the sun filtering through the woven papyrus walls of her family's modest home. The sounds of the city buzzed around her, vendors calling out the prices of vibrant textiles, the scent of tamales and beans wafting through the air, and the rhythmic beating of drums in distant temples. Citlali's world was painted with the hues of blooming flowers and grand pyramids, and life revolved around the agricultural cycles and the rituals honoring the gods. Her family were commoners, a tier of society that contributed to the vast empire through farming, craftsmanship, and service. Citlali's parents, like many others, were devout worshippers of Huitzilopochtli, the god of war and the sun, and they participated vigorously in seasonal ceremonies. On this particular morning, her mother had set out to the market, entrusting Citlali with the task of cooking corn for the family meal. Yet, beneath the surface of her simple life, change was brewing across the land. Rumors of strange men arriving from across the ocean had begun to whisper through the marketplaces. The people of Tenochtitlan heard tales of large ships with sails that caught the wind like the wings of an enormous bird, and men wielding weapons that glinted in the sun. Metal that had never been seen before. Chapter 2. Whispers of Change. As days turned into weeks, the foreign presence grew louder. Citlali's curiosity itched at her. At school, she learned about the great feats of her ancestors, how the Aztec Empire rose from the waters of Lake Texcoco, gradually absorbing surrounding states and expanding its influence. But now, those lessons seemed overshadowed by the shadow of the unknown. Citlali's best friend Xochi often spoke of the images depicted in murals that adorn the temples. They showed the arrival of gods with bearded faces, men who walked on water, and how they were to bring forth a new age. This mythology intertwined with the frightening reality of the strangers. With each passing day, more stories circulated. Some claimed these men were from a distant land called Spain, while others rumored they were the harbingers of doom. One evening, as Citlali and Xochi gathered at the central marketplace, they overheard a group of men discussing the foreigners. They call themselves Christians and say their God is greater than ours. They mean to conquer us, one man proclaimed, his face marred with concern. Citlali clutched Xochit's hand tightly. Fear crept into her heart, a sensation she had never known. Fear of losing her family, her home, her way of life. Yet there was a part of her, a flicker of bravery, that sparked curiosity about these strangers. Chapter 3. The First Contact. In the spring of that year, the Emperor Moctezuma II sent emissaries to the coast to greet the newcomers. Citlali, always eager for news, overheard her mother discussing the emperor's decision. Moctezuma believes they are gods. He hopes to show them our greatness, she said, her voice filled with pride, but shadowed by worry. Citlali felt a surge of anxiety. What did gods mean when mortals were involved? In June, she witnessed the arrival of Hernan Cortés and his men firsthand. From her humble rooftop, she and her family watched as the fleet docked, Men adorned in metal armor disembarked, their horses stomping rhythmically against the stone docks. The sight of the horses was terrifying. They looked like colossal beasts, alien and powerful. The army paraded into Tenochtitlan amid a curious crowd, murmurs drifting through the air about their exotic appearance and strange rituals. Some were captivated, others distrustful, but all remained uncertain about this new chapter unfolding before them. Citlali felt the world tipping on its axis as she watched her people greet the strangers. In later nights of celebration, the city echoed with drums and songs. At one point, Moctezuma personally welcomed Cortez, adorning him with gifts of gold and corn, seeking to win favor with the strange men. Yet, as a young girl with eyes wide open, Citlali could see the tension growing beneath the festive surface. Here's the chapter for The Gathering Storm. Back at home, the atmosphere became suffused with doubt. Citlali's father, a farmer, often spoke earnestly about the changes in the air. "They want our lands," he warned over dinner. "They seek more than just our hospitality. They come for our power." Citlali's world began to shift. The vibrant marketplace found itself starkly divided. Some supported the alliance with the Spaniards, believing it would usher in a new era, while others viewed them as invaders bent on destruction. Sporadic skirmishes erupted between the Aztecs and the Spanish forces, raising the stakes even higher. Despite the fear coursing through the city, the age-old rituals continued. Citlali found solace in the rituals her family performed, praying for protection from the encroaching darkness. Yet, as weeks passed and the conquests grew, the ritual of life began unraveling. Chapter 5. The Fall of Tenochtitlan. The situation escalated dramatically when tensions broke. The Spanish, seen as guests, began to expose their darker intentions. The enslaved and captured men from the surrounding tribes served as a grim reminder of what might come. A skirmish delivered a devastating blow, resulting in bloodshed in the very streets where children like Citlali once played. Desperation took hold as more families were disrupted. Citlali watched her father's expression shift from anger to despair when news arrived of the Imperial Guard's retreat against Spanish aggression. Children and elders filled the streets with cries and worries, the vibrant colors of their lives fading into hues of gray. One fateful day, Citlali and her family were pushed into the tumult, running through the crowded streets as chaos reigned. People shouted, and the air was thick with fear. Citlali grappled with her instinct to flee but found herself paralyzed by the noise and confusion. Amidst the chaos, she found Xochitl, who was desperately searching for her brother. With a surge of adrenaline, they joined forces, weaving through the crowd in search of their families. The ground trembled beneath them, and above, the sky turned dark with smoke as buildings were set alight in the distasteful throes of battle. Chapter 6. Hope in Despair. As weeks turned into months, the once thriving city began to collapse. Citlali learned to navigate the new reality. She helped her brothers keep watch over their crops, growing more miserable as the once vibrant fields were threatened by drought and neglect. The Aztec warriors fought valiantly, but despite their strength, they faced ruthless opponents equipped with swords and gunpowder. Underneath her fear lay a stubborn determination. She refused to let despair consume her. Together with Xochitl, they scavenged for food and joined others in hiding from the marauding conquistadors. One night, while gathering food from the ruins of a nearby villa, Citlali stumbled upon a hidden place, an old temple where remnants of offerings still lay, untouched. Incense hung thick in the air, an echo of a divine presence. It filled her with hope. Perhaps she could seek the favor of the gods in this, the darkest hour. As she prayed, she began to chant the names of their ancient deities, hoping fervently for a miracle. Chapter 7. The Siege. The siege of Tenoch to take London became the stuff of legends. The struggle intensified, and the city's inhabitants found themselves on the brink of despair. The waterways that once supplied the city became impediments to escape. Citlali would often sneak to the lakeside with Sochi to retrieve water, always maintaining a watchful eye for danger. It was during one such excursion that Citlali witnessed a small skirmish. The Aztec warriors, desperate and embattled, fought fiercely against the Spanish forces. She could hear their war cries echoing on the wind, their determination fierce in the face of inevitable defeat. It filled her with a sobering realization. Her world was indeed ending. Days turned into nights, and hunger shadowed every moment. Citlali's family faced devastation as sickness spread. Her beloved brother fell ill, his body frail and gaunt. The weight of survival hung over Citlali like a shroud, pressing her on in search of healing. Chapter 8. A Choice to be Made. One day, while scavenging through the remnants of a destroyed household for morsels of food, Citlali encountered a woman, a former healer, who was offering care to those injured amid the ruins. The woman agreed to help Citlali's brother in exchange for help in gathering herbs and necessities to sustain her work. As Citlali spent time with the healer, she grew skilled in the art of medicine, learning ancient ways to mend the human spirit. This newfound knowledge emboldened her, giving her a purpose amid the chaos. With night falling, she returned home, her heart full of resolve. She could save her brother, perhaps even others as well. Chapter 9. The Final Push. The months wore on. The brutality of the assault weighed heavily on the denizens of Tenochtitlan. The relationships between the peoples frayed, loyalty tested under the emotional strain. Moctezuma fell from his once mighty position as the Mexican Empire's ruler, his people becoming despondent. A fracture settled in the heart of society. Trust dwindled as betrayal bred throughout. Citlali's family, together with others in their community, made the momentous decision to unite against their oppressors. Together they formulated a plan. It was now or never, to stand and fight, to reclaim what was rightfully theirs, or to surrender to despair. As the sun dipped beyond the horizon, painting the sky with shades of blood red and violet, Citlali and her allies marched forward, emboldened by rage, a fierce desire to protect family, freedom, and home. The air crackled with fear and hope as they congregated near the great temples where once communal love pulsed through each heart. Chapter 10. The Dawn of a New Era. The inevitable battle came to a head under the heavy shadows cast by the great Templo Mayor. Citizens encountered one another on the battlefield. Battles fought not only between warriors, but between the essence of one's existence. Shouts resounded through the air, and the spectacle was as heartbreaking as it was heroic. In the fray, Citlali fought valiantly, driven by the need to protect everything she held dear. Her heart raced, her body fueled by the sheer determination of survival, the beats of her ancestors guiding her through the chaos. But it became clear that the end was fast approaching. The Aztecs faced defeat, their people diminished and divided. Tenochtitlan, once a thriving capital, now laid in ruins. Chapter 11. In the Ashes of Her Home. Following the tumult, Citlali found herself among the remnants of her family's once vibrant home. Fire and blood had marked its corners. Hope dwindled as fear of what came next eclipsed her thoughts. The Spanish had taken control, and with them, generations of Aztec culture and legacy were in peril. In those unsettling moments of silence, she met others like her, young, lost, grieving for their fallen world. The fierce unity they had fostered was now replaced with a shared sorrow, an understanding that innocence was lost, yet reborn in unity. As Citlali wandered through the ruins of her beloved home, embedded in the heart of Tenochtitlan, now so ever changed, she felt the warmth of the sun again, something perpetual, something sacred. She saw remnants of the past, murals faded but still speaking volumes, Aztec patterns etched in stone whispering the tales of resilience. Chapter 12. A new chapter. Months turned into years in the wake of the tragedy that befell Tenochtitlan. The world around Citlali continued to evolve, with Spanish influence sweeping through the ruins and remnants of her once great empire. While the laughter faded and the songs of her ancestors fell silent, a new beat began to emerge. New generations grew from the ashes of old, a mix of cultures intertwining, the remnants of Aztec heritage lacing with Spanish customs. Citlali, despite the scars of her history, harbored hope for a future. She became a caretaker of the tales, a keeper of the old ways blended with newfound beliefs as she ushered in stories of her people to the young children in the remnants of their world. The sun still rose each day, shining down on a new land born of tragedy and transformation, a new era unfurling beneath its golden warmth. Years later, as Citlali aged into womanhood, the weight of history pressed tightly against her heart. The memories of lost friends and family reverberated within, yet she stood strong, embracing every fragment that composed her identity. No longer in the shadow of despair, she lived as a testament to resilience. Though the Aztec Empire had transformed irreversibly, Citlali's spirit echoed the vibrant colors of the past. In this woven fabric of culture, she carved her place, teaching children, sharing stories, and ensuring the knowledge of their ancestors would never be lost. In this land, forever changed, Citlali learned that survival was more than the continuation of life. It was the honor of remembering, a way to remain eternally linked to the sacred stories that shaped her people. She did not know what the future held, but she faced it, clutching the sun's warmth, a testament to her journey through the fires of war, echoing an unwavering call of hope. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. This will really help the channel grow. Always stay safe, but most of all, stay curious. Until next time.